Hi guys, this is Erica from Gokce Capital.
Now before I begin, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and turn on notifications. A few days ago, I just got a title search back from our title company on a property in California that we were looking at purchasing. And in the title commitment that the company gave me along with the title search, they listed a number of exceptions to the policy that they were willing to provide. One of these was for an unresolved community interest from a previous owner in the chain of title because that owner's spouse did not sign the deed when they transferred title to the next owner. Thus, they left a cloud on the chain of title, and the spouse still held a lingering interest in the property. So how did we resolve this particular issue? Well, I'll let you know at the end of this video. In the meantime, I'm going to go over 5 things you should know about title exceptions, because when you're buying vacant land, it is very common to run into a title exception, whether major or minor, and you should know what to look out for going in, so you don't end up surprised when you get your title commitment. But first, to understand title exceptions, you first need to understand title insurance. Now bear with me if you already understand all of these basics, but for those of you who are first-time land buyers, title insurance is an insurance policy offered by a title company that protects against financial loss caused by defects in the chain of title. Title insurance is issued after the title company does a title search to look through the chain of title and catch any potential issues. When the title search is done, the title company will provide you a report of their findings from that search as well as a title commitment, which lets you know that they are committing to issuing title insurance once the closing occurs. And in that title commitment will often be listed exceptions to the policy that they are willing to provide. So as this suggests, title exceptions are going to be all of those items that will not be covered by your title insurance policy. And that's the number one thing you should know. If you move forward with the closing with all of the listed exceptions unresolved, you are accepting all of the restrictions, limitations, or burdens imposed by those exceptions, and will not be entitled to any financial compensation if these issues result in a loss to you. So number 2, there are always going to be exceptions in every policy. Some of these are basic standard exceptions. Others are specific to your property and are likely going to be of greater concern to you. Here are some of the standard exceptions you may expect to see. 1. Encroachments. If there are any encroachments on your property, those will be listed as exceptions. 2. Easements. These are another big exception. The title company cannot invalidate the rights of any easement holders, so easements will be listed as exceptions. Title insurance does not cover you for unpaid taxes or any liens on the property. The typical title insurance policy will usually only cover surface rights to the property, so it will not be guaranteeing you title to any mineral or water rights. And if there are any parties currently in possession of the property, like a tenant, title insurance will not cover any claims that they may be able to make. And finally, if there are HOA CCRs or other kinds of restrictions like zoning, title insurance will not remove your obligation to follow these restrictions. Number 3, you should have a survey done before the title search. This is because any issue that a survey would catch will fall under a general title exception if there is no survey. Number 4, you can resolve the underlying conditions that led to the exception. If there are certain exceptions you don't want to accept, you can send these to your seller and let them know they need to be resolved before the closing. Some examples include requiring that any existing liens be paid, or if there is a small encroachment like a fence, requiring that it be removed prior to closing. Number 5, if there are certain exceptions that you don't want to accept and that your seller cannot easily resolve, you may be able to pay for extended coverage. Depending on what exceptions are listed and what your title company provides, for an extra fee, they may give you additional protection for some of these exceptions. So what did we do with the exception that was found on our California property? Well, remember, this was for lingering community interest in the property because a spouse had not signed a deed in a prior transaction. In this case, the title company would reach back out to those old sellers and have a correction deed recorded, which was signed by the spouse. So it was an exception that could be resolved with a little extra time and money. And bulk of the time, this is what you will find with title exceptions, although sometimes you may not want to deal with the additional hassle. So always make sure you fully read the title commitment and understand what all the exceptions mean and what would be required to resolve them. Now, do you have any stories about buying land or title exceptions? Let us know in the comments. Did you like this video? You're going to love our Gokce Land Due Diligence program. We'll make you a land due diligence expert in just 7 days. Check it out at gokcecapital.com/glad. And while you're at our website, don't forget to explore our $1 down properties at gokcecapital.com/listings. Finally, don't hesitate to reach out with any questions. You can email, call, or text, and we will respond as soon as possible. So thank you for listening, and more to come.